Good morning, my dear students. Today I will start standard form or expanded form for class 2 maths. 54. If it is 54, that means 4 is at the place of ones. Okay? And 5 is at the place of tens. That means if we should expand the form or with their according the numbers to the place value like this. At first 4 is at the place of tens, so we should write here 4. After that 5 is at the place of tens, that means 5 multiply. If 5 is at the place of tens, that means 5 multiplied with tens, that is 50. So we should write here 50. If any number is at the place of tens, that means multiply with 10, that is 5. If it is 5, 550. If it is 6, suppose it is 64, that means we should multiply 6 with 10, that is also 60. Okay, the same things. Okay, if any digit can be sits in the hundreds place, that means we should write here 100. If it is 1, that is 100. If it is 2, that means it is 200. If 7 is at the place of 100, that means it is 700. 2 is at the place of tens, that means it is 20. 9 is at the place of ones, also 9. All of the ones digit are the same. Suppose it is 345, that means ones place is at the 5. Tens place, that means 40. Tens place 4. And if it is 300, that means 3 is at the place of 100. Okay. After that, we should go the next. 7 is at the place of 100. That means we should write here 700. If 7 is at the place of 100, that means 700. If 2 is at the place of tens, that means 2 tens, it is 20. 9 is at the place of ones, that means it is also the same, 9. 1, tens, hundreds and thousands. 3 is at the place of thousands, that means if 3 is at the place of 1000, that is 3000. 3000 plus 6 is at the place of 100, that means 6 multiplied with 100, that is 600. 600. If it is 100, that means 00. If it is 1000, then we should write here 000 or 3 zeros. Okay. If it is 7000, that means 700, that is a 7000. If it is 4000, 4000, that is 4000. If it is 500, that means 500. If it is 600, that is 600. Okay. After that, 8 is at the place of tens, that means it is 80. Yes, it is 80. When it is place of tens, that is 80. If the place of tens is 5, that means it is at 80. 0 is in there also, but here is 5. If it is 7 in the place of 1, that means it is only 7. Okay? So you should do it. I will tell you again. If it is place of 1, that is the same number. If it is 10, that means we should write here single 0 and write here this digit. If it is 100 place, that means also the 100, 300, 400, 500. If it is the place of 1000, that means you should write after the digit 3 zeros. Okay, or 3000. If it is 4 is at the place of 1000, that means 4000. If it is 7 is at the place of 1000, that means here 7000. Complete the number with their name. It is 345. We should write here number name. Number name 64. It is just 64. It is 345. That is 345. 45. Okay. If it is 729, it is 700. 29. We should write in the small letter. Starting letter should be capital, otherwise all of these things are starting letter, and the naming of the capital letter, otherwise all of these letters are small. Okay, so you should put the number bits in the abacus system. How many bits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should write here 4. How many bits? At first count the bit and you should write the number. Okay, it is easy to you. Suppose here is 6, so you should draw the line and put the number bit. Okay, using or greater than or less than. Which one is greater or which one is less? Suppose it is 145 box is in here and 54. Which one is greater? If the first one is greater, we should write here the greater than sign. It is called the greater than. Greater than sign. If the small number is in the first, if the small number is in the first, then we should write here the less than or less than sign. Okay, less than sign or greater than sign. This one is called the less than, this one is called the greater than. If the first number is greater or bigger, that means we should write here greater than sign. If the first one or first number is less than or smaller or lesser, that means we should write here the less than sign. From these two numbers, this number is small or smaller, that's why we should write here less than sign. From these two numbers, 145 is greater than, that means, or bigger, that's why we should write here greater than sign. Okay, so you should write here the greater than or less than sign. Color the box with bigger number. Color the box. Colored with the box. Color the box with a bigger number. Which one is the bigger? 421, 476. 400 is also the same, but here is 21, 76. 76 is the greater, that means, or bigger, that means we should draw a box with a color. Okay, like this. Color the box with smaller number. Which one is the smaller number? 221 or 36. 36 is a, here is 2 digits, but here is 3 digits. That means this one is bigger, or 2 digits here, that means it was with the smaller number, so we should write or color the smaller box. Okay, color the box with biggest number red and smallest number green. Biggest number, which one is the biggest number? At first find out the biggest number, 172, and colored with a red. Colored with a red, and smallest number colored with a green. If it is smallest, you should color it green. If it is biggest, you should color it with the red. Number by ascending. Number is arrange the number with the ascending. That means smallest to biggest. At first you should write here the smallest number. Number 1, 234, 132, 360, 364, and 421. If we should making a number or arrange the number in ascending order, that means we should arrange the number in their smallest to biggest. Which one is the smallest? Here is 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits. That means all of the digits are, number of digits are same. On that time, 100th place. According to their 100th place digit, we should detect it. Here is 1, that means this one is the smallest. After that 2 is in here, that means 234. After that 3. Both of the number start from or 100th place is at the 3. So if all of the 100th place number or digit is the same, after that we should go the 10th place digit. We should follow the 10th digit. 10th digit also the same. After that we should go the next or 1's place digit or 1's digit. 1's place 1's digit is at the number of 0, but here is 4. That means 0 is in the smallest, so we should write here 360 at first. After that 364. Last one left 421. We should write here in the last. If we should write the numbers in ascending, on that time we should write here less than sign, because this one is the smallest. Okay. If we should write in the descending order, on that time we should write the number in reverse. Which one is the biggest? We should write here at first the biggest number. 364, 360, 234. After that 132. When it is descending order, on that time we should write here the greater than sign. When it is descending order, that means it is biggest to smallest. Biggest for B, smallest to smallest for S. Biggest to smallest, on that time we should write here the greater than sign. When it is ascending order, that means smallest to biggest. When it is smallest to biggest, that is the ascending time. On that time we should write here the less than sign, and we should find out which one is the which number is the smallest. We should write the first. Okay, so your homework, home assignment 5F 1, 2, 3, number forming 6, 7 and 5. You should form the number with the digit which mentioned. Suppose it is 6, 7 and 5. If we should making the smallest number, we should taking the smallest one as first. After that 6, after that 7, If we should write here the biggest number, on that time we should taking the biggest digit from here. After that bigger number, after that the smallest number in the last. This one is the smallest. That is the number form. And this one is the biggest. Okay. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you so much.